He's such a misfit. He's like a shark out of water. Can it be worse? He's homely. There are no female sharks. So I just thought, okay, this is kind of like a person who's born different and no one likes them, kind of like human beings. They feel like they just don't fit in. And quite often they can turn nasty or they can be, let's say, uh, very sympathetic in a way that, oh yeah, he eats people, but he saves people. You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. And he doesn't, in the dialogue, is so simple-minded. You can't hate this guy because there's no ulterior motive. He doesn't even know where he is half the time. He just follows everybody. Friend, friend. Yeah, that kind of. I've been lucky. I was born with a kind of a different voice, different sounding voice, and quite often this is where the director doesn't get the credit. They're in the recording room, so if you say hand, or you go no hand. You see what I mean? It's like little things like that, like wow hand. Like he's really proud of this one word. So he's trying to put it like a banquet, a soliloquy into a grunt. It's almost foolproof in a sense. Only I could mess it up. The table was laid out there. Only I could spill the food. So it's wonderful. Plus, the dialogue. That's my kind of screenplay. 1, 2, 10 words. Very good. Because to me, the best screenplay someday will be one word. Whatever it is, just, oh, I got it. One word. He did it. He encompassed the. So as you write, like when I write screenplays, the more you can condense. So I guess the ultimate word, if Shakespeare were alive, he goes, the day I can get my play down to one word and everyone gets it, that's the goal. So they're getting there with Shark because he's down to like 8 words. You do have the visuals, and that, of course, it's quite helpful. Otherwise, you would have no idea. And it was. I'm making. A lot of times, actors try to complicate, like, oh yes, I had to go back to Tibet and reincarnate myself. No, it was laid out there. All I had to do was not mess it up. He's a real director. A lot of people are not. They think they are. They read a couple of novels and look, oh, I'm the new Hitchcock. No, you're not. It's a skill set you're born with, and it's a lot of work. By the way, he's very unusual because most directors are pensive and withdrawn and recalcitrant, and you know what I mean. Not that they're bad people. It's a very introspective. You're doubtful. You're insecure. Is my work good? Is it foolish? So think about it all night long, and it takes a toll on the family. It's not a fun job. It's not a fun job, but his comes naturally. It's like breathing. So to him, it is fun, and it's very unusual. Believe me, trust me. I mean, most directors, including myself, it's a horror. You do it out of necessity, or they do it out of like, oh, I'm the director. But just like in the Army, there's great generals, and you shouldn't even be a general, kind of a thing. He's a general. James's style is so radically different. Mine tends to be a glorified home movie, in a sense. I like it to be visceral, handheld, crude at times, and certainly not technical. I usually eliminate cranes and all these shots, just the opposite, and maybe no green screen. It's that kind of thing. When you do Rambo, that is it. I mean, you're in the woods, you're somewhere. And I feel I could not imagine being in a lab for months, dealing with images and computers and pixels. I just don't have the temperament. I'd lose my mind. I'd go join the Foreign Legion. I have to get out of here. As ensembles go, and I've been part of quite a few, but I've never been in a part of an ensemble where every individual is an accomplished performer. Even people new to the game, they have the gift to hold the screen. In other words, they're movie stars. They're not just actors. They have the ability to do their own film and be successful at that. In other words, they have that aura. And he got lucky. And I guess that, you know, these people existed at the time. He got lucky. So he put together this team of all-stars. Whereas a lot of ensembles, they're not stars, but together they're great. They're great. Like a great football team together. Well, this is all-star greats. See what I mean? Everyone, I mean, Margot, these guys are fantastic actors. They really are. I've seen them in many, many different vehicles. I'm going, damn, very good. It's kind of like having your worst enemy go off a cliff in your brand new Ferrari. Are you happy or not? That kind of a thing. Very ambiguous. I'll tell you the truth. There's a part of me, and it's unhealthy. It's all ego. You go, I want to go up there. I can still do that. And you're 25 years older than the other guy, but you still feel you're competitive. I think that's a plus, but it's not realistic. It's just not realistic. So to answer your question, I was happy just to let the other guys do it, you know, because I've already done it, and it would be sort of repetitive and selfish. Like, I want to do everything again. Just like directing. I mean, I'd like to direct. It sounds wonderful. It's very invigorating. But as Tony Robbins would say, is the pleasure going to be worth the pain? And I go, nah, not really. Just take a moment. Is the pleasure going to be worth the pain? No. Because think about it, James, this is 2 years, at least, every day, 7 days a week. Not easy. I grew up on all day, they would try to, I'm not glorifying it, it's a horrifying experience. So when you actually see what a guy looks like when they're shot, it's like, holy. Whereas James will set it up in a way that, A, the guy deserved to be shot, and it's in a comical situation. Like, you know what I mean? He slips in a bathtub and falls on his shotgun, and like that kind of a thing. I would be really egotistical here. It couldn't be better because I just turned 75 and I have one record that I'm really proud of. I've had a #1 film in 5 decades, and this one will be the 6th one. And I have to say thank you, James. So this is really special for me. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, no one's breaking that record. So I have the fact that it's COVID. This is an amazing film. I think it's going to be maybe the biggest R earner in history. I really do. I think this could break the record for an R-rated film. Really do. And it's just so necessary at this time. You know what I mean? It's not to take itself too seriously, but it's a seriously made film, really well made. Great craftsmanship. Here's the disclaimer that should come on every screenplay. Goes, it's good, needs work. How about do the work and then give me the screenplay? That might be there's a novel idea. You know, it's like, imagine buying a novel. Here's The Godfather. It's good, needs work, but just read it anyway. So, of course, this thing here didn't need work. He as a writer, because he's a writer, understands that I'm not going to give someone a half-baked idea. This movie is ready to roll. He understands cumulative effect. In other words, to keep the momentum of film going. I've written probably 25 screenplays that petered out at page 60. Every writer has. You just realize, this thing was a great idea, but it doesn't have legs. He found the legs in it, and this will go on. Now plus he just recreated a franchise, took it out of, which was probably in deep trouble, the first one, you know what I mean? He reinvented the original. I've never heard of it. It's like someone taking that's like what I just explained, taking a half-baked idea, taking it back and turning it into a banquet. Because the original had good intentions, bad execution. And yet here we are. So he doesn't call this part 2. This is really what you should have got the first time.
Thank you for watching. Head to sarahscoop.com for more of the scoop on your favorite things.